In construction, change is inevitable. Scope adjustments, unexpected site conditions, or client requests can all affect your original project estimate. In this video, I'm going to show you how to enter a change request in Sage Intacct, so you can revise your project estimates and keep your project contracts up to date. What is a change request? A change request is used to revise the original amounts in your primary project estimate. Once approved, change requests can then be added to project change orders, which in turn update the pricing of your project contract lines for you to bill. Think of it this way. A change request captures the proposed revision, what's changing and by how much, on your estimate. The project change order is the formal approval mechanism that ties those revisions back to your contract. Before you start, make sure your change request statuses have been set up. Within your projects module, go to your Setup tab, and under Change Management, select Change Request Status. These statuses control how change requests post to your primary project estimate and drive the workflow for your team. If these haven't been configured yet, please set these up before proceeding. So if my change request status is submitted or pending, it's in a pending state. If it's declined, it does not affect my workflow. If it's from contingency, it's a revision to my workflow, and approved will be an approved change to my estimate. I can update these or add a new change request status if needed, maybe a verbal agreement, and that would be an approved change. You can also mark these inactive if you're no longer using that status. Let's get started. So we'll head over to Projects module, and we're going to be in the All tab. Let's go into Change Requests. You can select this plus sign here. Your change request ID, if you have auto sequencing on, you won't enter anything here. You can turn that off by going into the setup page within projects and configuration. So you can see here, my change requests have a sequence, as well as my project change orders and estimates. So you can turn that off if needed. So if the sequencing is on, you can automatically skip this step. In the project ID field, select the project this change request is associated with. If you do select a sub-level project from within the same project hierarchy, it will show up in the entries table as well. It will automatically pre-fill in the project section, saving you a bit of time. Here you'll enter your change request date. This is an important field. If the change request is posted to the GL budget, this date will be used as the effective date for the estimate entry. So make sure it accurately reflects when the change is being requested. Here you would enter your change request status. You can add on the fly or view the status here. Here is the change request type. You can add the type on the fly. So I have the option between contingency, external, and internal change orders now. Here you can enter a description. This should be a summary of what you're changing and why. A good description helps your team and clients understand the nature of the change request at a glance. Let's go back to the change request status. Only posted change requests can be linked to project change orders. So if this change order was in a draft state, I would not be able to link it to a project change order. So please note that. For reporting purposes, you can optionally select the change request type. For example, if it's owner initiated, a design error, or unforeseen conditions, you can add these different types here depending on the scope of your business. This helps you analyze trends and change requests over time on projects. You can also attach supporting documentation here, emails or photos using this attachment field to track as well. You can enter your price effective and cost effective date here. And then if you are going to be printing out this change request, you'll have some options for your change request templates. And then here, you'll need to select who you're sending this change request to. So I like to drill into my project and confirm that customer. If I'm using a primary contact or a build to contact, I can also add that. Okay, so now we need to select the project contract line source. This step controls how the price change from this change request flows into your project contract line. So you've got 3 options here. Well, I guess 4 if you select none. So you can inherit from a project change order, meaning the project contract and line are automatically assigned to the linked change order to all the entries. Use this when your change order drives the contract update. You can also choose assigned from this change request. You enter the project contract and line directly on the change request, and it applies to all the entries. You'll still need to link this to a change order to update the contract line. So this is driven from the project change order, and this is driven from the change request. You can also choose assigned per entry. So here you would specify the project contract and line individually for each entry line. The assign per entry is the only option I have if I need to maybe do an internal move and I need to move money from one project line to another. So this is used when you have different contract lines and you're not only affecting one. Choose the option that best matches your workflow. I'm going to choose inherit from project change order here. If this change request is associated with an existing project change order, you can link it here. And the change order must be associated with the same project ID. Linking the change request to a change order is what ultimately allows the posted change request to update the project contract lines. So this is an important step if your contract actually needs to be updated. If I was just needing to update my estimate, I can stop at this change request step and it will update my estimate here. If I need to update my project contract and have the lines go up or down, I need to do another step after and issue an executed project change order. Because I don't have a project change order in yet, I'm going to choose assigned from this change request. And then here I can select my project contract ID and the line. So if any of these lines are being affected, I can select them. I can also add a line here. Maybe the owner wants to see the change order on a new line. Do not use any special characters in Intacct, so no pound signs or and signs. That will affect your billing down the road. Come in and select your GL account. And if there's retainage on the line, add that here. The line will be billable. I can add a change request attachment here. This will be a progress line. Come down here and select your project. Location and department will come in, as well as customer. And for the item, I'm going to select contract CO item. I don't need to add my price here because the change request will update that for me. Put your effective date in. And now we have a new line for this change order. The project change order will be linked automatically once we go into the next step. This is another older change order I've issued. So nothing to do right here. You have an option to add some additional information like a larger scope, terms, completion dates, reference fields. And now we get into the meat of it to enter the entries. Under more actions, you can edit this layout here. So if you needed to mark up the line, you can add that. You can move things out of this table. Once you see the dark gray rectangle, you can drop that in. And then when you are ready to save, make sure you apply the layout changes and save that layout. I'm gonna add my project. You can add a memo, enter a cost code. And your cost type. I'm going to enter in the cost here. The price. I'm going to update my table so it makes a bit more sense. And then here's my original estimate. You can see change requests are linked on this estimate page. So this is how you make revisions to the estimate, by issuing a change request. Now we're going to post this. Looks like I have a smart rule. Okay, so now I have a change request in. If I go into my estimate, drill into that, you'll see that I have a new change. And this did make my estimate go up. And that's how you enter and post a change request in Sage Intacct. By capturing change requests in the system, you can keep your project estimates accurate, your contracts up to date, and your team aligned on the financial impact of every change on a project. Thanks for watching. Next up, we're going to issue a project change order.